Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest Chapter 168 is out, and this was not a great chapter. I have problems with this chapter. There was stuff I liked in this chapter, don't get me wrong, but I do have a problem with how things played out at the end to an extent, and I can see how there's going to be people that are going to be shitting on it regardless, and I understand that, but I do want to look at the positives first and then go into my negatives over this chapter, because I have a few things to say about it. But before we jump into things, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And if you want to see me talk about all things that are not on this channel for anime and manga, go check out my new podcast, Shonen Pulse, which is on the Panel Focus YouTube channel, where me, Yatogami, Nox, and Papa Trophy end up discussing anime and manga that we have seen and read over the past week, alongside news regarding anime and manga. It's a lot of fun, and I would really appreciate it if you guys checked it out. It is a passion project of ours, and the support would mean the world to me. And if you want to support the channel more directly, go and become a patron on my Patreon. For just $2 a month, you get access to my patron-only Discord server, early access to videos up to a week early that aren't chapter review videos, and other details where you can recommend me stuff to review. And I'm currently setting up stuff for potential live readings or watch parties on a bi-weekly basis once I get things figured out for that. You also get your name at the end of videos starting in September, and you can potentially get a shout out at the end of the video. I'm planning to make the Patreon and the Discord server as fun and as engaging as possible to make it worth your while. And also, if you want, go and use my referral link down below for Advanced GG, and use my code GreekWeeb10 to get up to 15% off at checkout for some really nice supplements, shakers, and thermoses from Advanced GG. Really great flavors for focus, energy, and just straight up hydration. You will really enjoy it. Now with that out of the way, on with the video. So chapter 168 of Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, titled Great Power Pierces Stone, with the cover image being Brandish as she is camping. Lord, would I give to be with her right now. So the chapter starts off with Brandish gigantifying her arm to try and break the lacrima, but her magic doesn't seem to work on this thing. She looks at the Aquarius key, and she's frustrated, like, how in the heck did the key get inside there? And she starts to think that the key fell down there and the lacrima sprouted from underwater, but there's no way it would end up getting stuck inside it. It's then Brandish ends up noticing that the lacrima is beginning to change, grow, and grow, showing that's how the key was there. It fell to the ocean, and just as the lacrima was being sprouted, it ended up growing around the key, and it ended up getting engulfed in the lacrima. But from behind her, a bunch of townsfolk that were turned into rampaging dragon people are going to try and attack her. But Brandish says they used to be human. Man, it's such a pain. She then uses her command team magic on not just these dragon folk, but the entire town of Ermina. As we then see that this entire area ended up getting shrunk. The entire town on a little piece of water on top. So yeah, Brandish is using her power to the most OP capability she can, literally erasing a town to an extent, as everybody is just wondering what the heck's going on and how they shrank. Brandish puts it aside and ends up telling the townspeople to behave for a while. She begins to wonder how she can break the lacrima, stating that maybe Dragon Slayer magic will end up doing it, but it's such a pain, and she then thinks of God Serena as the other person that she knows of that had Dragon Slayer magic, but that just annoys the ever-loving crap out of her. But then Brandish gets an idea. And then cut back to where last chapter left us, with Mercphobia literally chomping down on Lucy. But in an instance, Lucy and Mercphobia get a shock, as Lucy then grows from within Mercphobia's mouth. As in another 2-page spread, we see a giant Lucy just erupting out of Mercphobia's mouth, being spat into the air, as she's wondering what the hell happened just now. Now look, many people have theorized in the last chapter that Brandish was going to enlarge Lucy in this instance, and she enlarged her at the perfect time too, which, yeah, it's how shonen works, it happens, and this is a genius idea to just have a literal giant hold off a dragon. Brandish then yells out to Lucy to use Mercphobia to hit the lacrima, as the power of a dragon will most likely be capable of destroying the lacrima. And in this instance, Lucy gets up to try and fight Mercphobia, but is then pushed back by a bunch of water attacks from Mercphobia, as even at this size, she's still no match for Mercphobia's magical power. But she manages to grab Mercphobia's tail and then begin to pull him. saying they have to destroy the Lacrima if they want to put everyone back to normal and save Aquarius. As after grabbing Mercphobia, she uses her size and shifts into the Taurus star dress to gain a bunch more brute force in order to actually be able to pull and lift over Mercphobia, stating that she can't lose this. This panel looks really cool. I like Lucy in this form, and she just looks incredibly badass in this moment. But with her strength, she then pulls Mercphobia into the air as Brandish actually cheers her on, which honestly is something I didn't expect to see just yet, but I kind of like it. The two of them make a really good team, especially with Brandish's pretty overpowered magic. Using the Taurus form, Lucy ends up pulling Mercphobia, swinging him around, as she then crashes him right into the Lacrima as it begins to crack. And in a 2-page spread, Mercphobia crashes right through the Lacrima, shattering it as they achieved their objective. And Aquarius' key was bursted right out of the Lacrima, so it is now free from within the Lacrima. And Brandish just has a smile where she just looks like she's proud of Lucy for managing to do this. And after Lacrima was smashed, Mercphobia returns to normal, as he's wondering what the heck happened and what did he do. As the townsfolk are all reverted back to normal, Caramel is back to normal, and Lucy returned to normal size thanks to Brandish's magic, as that's one Lacrima down. Mercphobia is grabbing his head, stating, okay, I lost control of myself again, with Brandish just being as blunt as ever, being like, come on man, get over it. You're being a real pain about it. Mercphobia is concerned for Caramel and the townsfolk, but everybody seems to be alright, as he has a sigh of relief. With the chapter ending with Aquarius' key glistening in the water, as Lucy and Brandish stare down on it, ending the chapter. So this chapter, very quick, and now let's get into my negatives over the chapter, because while I did enjoy Lucy and Brandish basically doing a form of teamwork, Brandish actually utilizing her power in the OP way that it really is to help Lucy and just shrink the town so the townsfolk don't get in their way, and Lucy changing form to help in a situation, I do not like how quickly we resolved the Lacrima situation. Now look, everyone's gonna say, oh, Mercphobia got one shot, Mercphobia got taken out so easily, and I'm like, he didn't really lose a fight. All Lucy did was use Taurus form, which already increased her already enhanced strength from being turned into a literal giant, and just swing Mercphobia with all her strength into a Lacrima, utilizing a literal dragon that could be the only thing to affect this literal dragon Lacrima, shattering it, and thus turning Mercphobia back to normal, and bringing him back to his senses, and the Lacrima was basically what injured him. That is legitimately what happened. She didn't really beat a dragon god by herself, due to the fact that if it wasn't for the Lacrima, if the Lacrima wasn't essentially making Mercphobia go berserk, if he kept attacking, she would have ended up losing that fight 100%, as she couldn't stand up to Mercphobia's sheer power, just was able to throw him around. I get how things went like that. My issue is that this went by way too quickly. This was too fast, and this puts Mercphobia on fraud watch, because legitimately it took so much for a half power or less than half power Mercphobia at the very start of 100 Years Quest to be taken out, because we needed literally the Flames of Ignia to help Natsu take him down. But now we just have a giant Lucy just throwing him into a Lacrima, which is a dragon Lacrima, which would be the only thing that could actually harm him, shattering it and bring him back to normal. I just wish this lasted one more chapter at least, because while I like the idea of Lucy being a literal kaiju to fight a dragon, and it looks cool, this needed to last a bit longer, because this was way too quick. It just feels like Majima just wanted to speed blitz Mercphobia, and just make it seem that they're not going to actually fight some of these dragon gods, and that taking out the Lacrima is equivalent to taking out the dragon gods without actually having to, like, truly fight them in a sense. But still, it just felt way too easy to bring Mercphobia back to his senses. At the bare minimum, I can see Mercphobia now and Selene. Once those Lacrimas are gone, Selene will join back with the good side again, and then they'll just have to take care of Ignia, Alderaan, and Viernus again. Which I really hope there's some satisfying payoff for that, because I need to see an actual fight with Selene again. Same with Alderaan and Viernus. Perhaps a human transformation, which I highly doubt it. But I really do hope that, let's say they take out the Lacrimas for Alderaan and Viernus, that they don't just up and croak again. Just that they're not in a berserker state, they can think rationally again. Which would make them even worse opponents for everybody else and require more. I'm being optimistic. I really do hope Majima doesn't screw this up. I have faith that this arc will be good, but it was just a disappointment with how quickly this went out. It's not a bad chapter. Maybe with time I'll end up growing to just not dislike it as much, because there was cool moments in the chapter. But overall, I'm kind of just disappointed, and I kind of expected more. Though another upside with the Aquarius key now available to Brandish and Lucy, next chapter will probably resolve the ownership of Aquarius's key, so we'll see how that plot point pans out. But that's all I got to say about this chapter. What do you guys think about it? Are you disappointed? Did you think this was great and I'm just overreacting? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.